Alright guys, in this video we're going to talk about simplifying fractions, putting fractions in simplest form. And there's really 6 questions to ask yourself when you're simplifying fractions. So I'm going to go through each one. So if you flip the first one over, it says, ask yourself, is the numerator 1? So if it is a 1, the fraction is in simplest form. So if you go to the bottom of your paper, I'm going to put number 1, because that's the rule we're talking about right now, or the question we're talking about right now, number 1. Sorry, there we go. And so if a fraction has a 1 on the top, that means it's in simplest form. So it could be 1/20th, it could be 1/15th, it could be 1/17th, and I could keep going and going and going, but any fraction that has a 1 on the top is in simplest form. So that's always the first question you're going to ask. Is there a 1 on the top? Is the numerator a 1? So let's flip to number 2. Is the numerator 1 less than the denominator? If yes, the fraction's in simplest form. So for example, 7/8, 7 is 1 less than 8, so it's in simplest form. Or 1 is 1 less than 2, so it's in simplest form. So let's think about some other examples. So we're talking about question number 2. So we're looking at 1 away from each other, so it could be 9/10. That would be in simplest form. Or 8/9, or 99/100. Any fraction that's 1 away from each other would be in simplest form. So let's look at question number 3. It says, can the denominator be evenly divided by the numerator? So we're thinking evenly divided by the numerator. So that means no remainders. If yes, then both the numerator and the denominator, then divide both the numerator and the denominator by the numerator. The remaining fraction will be in simplest form. So in our example here, 3/9, well, 9 can easily be divided by 3. So that means I can do 3 divided by 3, which equals 1, and 9 divided by 3, which equals 3. So in simplest form, we would have 1/3. So let's look at rule number 3. So for example, if I had 5/10, I know that I can do 10 divided by 5 evenly. So I'm going to divide both the top and the bottom by 5. 5 divided by 5 is 1. 10 divided by 5 is 2. So it would be 1/2. We could have 6/18. I know that 18 divided by 6 will give me that even number. Goes in evenly with no remainders, so I can divide the top and the bottom by 6. So 6 divided by 6 is 1. 18 divided by 6 is 3. So really, this fraction simplified would be 1/3. All right, let's look at question number 4. Oops, I forgot to write down here. This is question number 3. So question number 4. Is the fraction made up of a number over its double? So think 4 doubled is 8. If it's made up of a number of its double, the fraction is always 1/2. And we've talked a little bit about this one. So you've got to think, is it doubled? If it is, then it is 1/2. The simplified version would be 1/2. So like number 4, I could have 20/40ths. Well, 40 is double 20, so this one equals 1/2. I could have 7/14. 7 doubled is 14, so that means this would equal 1/2. So the simplified version of both of these would be 1/2. Let's look at number 5. Are the numbers in the numerator and denominator both even? If they're both even, 2 is always going to be a common factor. So you can always divide by 2. So I think I'm out of room on the bottom of my paper, so I'm just going to use the side here. So we're talking number 5. So if we're thinking both even numbers, so let's say we've got 12/16. They are both even. So that means I can divide by 2. 12 divided by 2 is 6. 16 divided by 2 is 8. Now I've got to ask myself, are these numbers both even? And the answer is yes. So if they're both even again, we're going to divide by 2 again. 6 divided by 2 is 3. 8 divided by 2 is 4. Are these numbers both even? Nope. 3 is odd. And also, we go back to that rule, 3 is 1 away from 4, so we know that this has to be the simplified version. So we turn 12/16 into 3/4. That would be the simplified version. Alright, and last one, number 6. Does the numerator and denominator have any common factors? Yes, then divide by both. So for example, if I have 6/9, I can divide by 3 on both the top and the bottom, which would give me the simplified fraction of 2/3. So we're looking for those common factors. Okay? So, for example, if I have 10/15, easily I can see a common factor here would be 5, because it ends in 0 and 5. So I can divide by 5. 10 divided by 5 is 2. 15 divided by 5 is 3. So that would give me 2/3. Another common factor would be if I had 12/16. I know that 4 is a common factor of both of these, so I could divide by 4. 12 divided by 4 is 3. 16 divided by 4 is 4. So my simplified version would be 3/4.